before we get started in the video, I want to say I understand that it's not Sunday, it's whatever day this video ends up getting posted on. But when I recorded the video, it was Sunday morning. All right, so thank you for tuning in to another episode. Before I get started with today's episode, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who watches my videos. According to my YouTube analysis, as of right now, only 30% of the people who watch my videos are based off here in the United States. The majority of my audience is based in other parts of the country. So thank you, people, for watching. Let me know where you're watching from. I make sure to give a shout out. Let's talk about today's subject, and that's Trusted Tech Tools. At the start of every single episode, including this one, you see the logo for Trusted Tech Tools. What is it? It is a sponsor of every single episode that I do. It is my tool brand that I started back in January of 2023. Just like every single technician that's been doing this for a lengthy period of time, I got tired, I got burned out, and I just did not want to turn wrenches no more. And I figured, I try selling them and see what happens. And I looked at other manufacturers, like the bigger boys, and they're great, not for me. I knew somebody that was an independent tool dealer, and that was a lot more appealing to me. But I wanted to build this from the ground up. And I guess one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is, I don't know, man. It's just, I guess if I have a bad attitude with somebody, who's gonna fire me, right? My dogs, you know. But before I get into talking about dogs, let me talk about the logo and the name. So the logo is supposed to represent the a technician's name tag, and the name is called Trusted Tech Tools. Booger that up, my own name up. And it's because every single tool brand that I sell is either something that I've used or I know somebody that has used it and they love it. And so these are tools that us professional technicians trust and use. So that's just basically where the name comes from. The colors, really no significance with the colors. Red is actually my favorite color. But how many tool brands do you see that have red in it? And even though I'm not manufacturing my own tools yet, that is something that I eventually would like to do when I get on the big boy scale and start making big boy money. But I got a long ways to go before I get to that level. Now, I mentioned something about dogs, and so every single month I make a dog employee of the month. I think it's something just fun that I do. I'm a big baby when it comes to dogs. July of 2023, we had a loss here at Trusted Tech Tools. I made Big Mama, who was a pit bull that I was very attached to, employee of the month, and she also passed away. And being in my feelings that I was in, I decided any profits, if I made any, was going to go to the local dog shelter. And that's just a tradition that I keep going on here. And I make her employee of the month for every July because it just seems right. I understand my prices of my tools are very high, but I go through a lot of third, fourth party companies because I don't have the capital to buy on the skills that I need to get them at the deals. And I'm not trying to fuck anybody over by a country mile, but that's just the way it is, right? And that's why I'll do, like, 3 months layaway, and for an extension I'll do longer. And a video on how my layaways work is going to be coming up, but this video is just me talking about my brand, Trusted Tech Tools, and I'm just a one-man operation at this point. So if you send me a message on Instagram and Facebook. That's where I do a lot of my advertisements. When you get a response back, it's from me, and it makes me laugh when people compare my prices to other people, and I'm like, hey, do me a favor, and I said, send them a message at 11 o'clock at night. If I'm up, I'll respond back to you, even if I'm laying in bed. And so that I'm not trying to justify why I charge so much, but that's part of what you're getting with it. Anybody who stepped in the tow truck understands that, I'd rather spend 4 times as much money on that ratchet on a tow truck than I would if I go to a big box store. And it's just because, one, the customer service, 2, if it breaks, I don't need to keep the receipt, right? And so what I'm trying to bring to you is like almost like a virtual tool vendor. I will be going to some shops, but I'm selling out the trunk of my cars, man. When I tell you, man, I'm starting this from the ground up, man, I am. It has been a uphill battle, but it is what it is, right? I still turn wrenches professionally, but so when I say Trusted Tech Tools is mechanic owned, it really is. I turn wrenches full time. I don't do nothing else. And any profits that I do make from the stuff that I sell goes right back in business. So I'm not even keeping whatever money. And that's just because I'm trying to grow this business. But everything that I do, man, is organically. I don't pay for advertisements. I don't do none of that stuff. And it's just because I just don't have the money to do it, man. Every time I start saving up to where I can start advertising or get a little bit more inventory in, life happens. Yesterday I found out my 13 Avenger has a transmission cooler leak into it, and the 2006 Harley that I've been riding yesterday, it starts acting up on me, and it's just like, that's money that I could be putting into the business. But again, life happens, and what can you do? And last year, I'm not going to get into it, but last year was just a crazy year for me, man. But that's on my personal stuff. And so so Trusted Tech Tools hasn't really been a focus on it, and I want to say prior to August of last year, Instagram does this thing for analytics, and it tells you how many accounts that you reach. And I was reaching an average of 200 accounts a day, and that was something that I was real proud of, because again, I don't pay for advertisement, but now I'm like in the 30s, and that's okay with me, and it hasn't really been, my business hasn't really been a focus on me, and I feel bad about it, because this is a brand that I started. And I'm not gonna lie, man, there was a brief time where I'm like, do I shut it down and jump onto one of the big boys? And I was really contemplating that at the beginning, probably about March of 2024. I was really thinking about it, but I decided, man, I'm just gonna keep on trucking with this, and hopefully that one day that it's gonna pay off. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to do this YouTube channel, as another way to kind of advertise for this and that. And like I told you in episode 1, I got a 96 Harley I'm working on, and I'm just recording my journey, so why not throw my brand on it as a sponsor, right? It's costing me $0 for it. And so I don't know, this is probably I lost count after 14, so I'm really not going to retake this video, man. I'm just going to put it on YouTube, and hopefully you know, hopefully you get some value out of it. Just like I said, this is just a video of me just talking about my brand and what to expect from it. But let me know if you need any tools. I do a thing. I do offer 13% off if you prepay when you pre-order. That's just, again, to kind of help me build up my capital. So yeah, man, so y'all have a good weekend.